Hi, my name is Robin and you are welcome back to my channel. In this section, we are going to be talking about laws of indices. And we are going to be dealing with a lot of laws and where we are going to be applying all these laws to solve our mathematics questions on indices. Let's jump right into it. Now, I'll be introducing you to indices. Any mathematical expression or equation that is expressed as this is an indicial expression or an indicial equation. Your A here is known as the base. Your X here can be called the power, can be called the index, and can also be called the exponent. So, any mathematical expression or equation that is expressed as a raised to power x is an indicial word equation or expression. For an example, if I have something like this, my 2 here is the base, just like you have a as the base, while your 3 here is the power or the exponent or the index. So I'm going to say I have 2 raised to power 3 or 2 index 3 or 2 exponent 3. So if somebody tells you, can you write 4 exponent 3? That is 4 exponent 3. Or they tell you, write 4 index 3. This is 4 index 3. Or they tell you, write 5 raised to power 2. This is 5 raised to power 2. So any mathematical expression or equation that is written in this form, a raised to power x, is an indicial expression or equation. Now, let's take a look at the laws of indices. These are the laws that will help us to solve all questions on indices. Let's jump right into it. Now, let's start with the laws of indices. The first one, we have a raised to power m times a raised to power n. Now, if you look at this law, you will see that the base a here is the same thing as the base a here. That's the first thing you need to know. And you are multiplying. So when you have same bases multiplying, then you can add the powers, m plus n. So if I have 2 raised to power 3 times 2 raised to power 5, in this case, the base here is 2 and the base here is 2 and you're multiplying. So you have same bases and you're multiplying. So in that respect, you write one of the base, and because you are multiplying, you will add the powers together. So 3 plus 5. So this is 2 raised to power 8. So whenever you have same bases and you are multiplying, the rule says you should add the powers together. So if I have 3 raised to power 5 times 3 raised to power minus 3. Now, in this case, we have the same bases, base 3, and we are multiplying. So 3, write one of the base. And because we are multiplying and they are same bases, you will add the powers together. So 5 plus minus 3, you have minus here. So this one becomes 3, 5. Remember, you need to know how to use this. Minus times minus is plus. Minus times plus is minus. Plus times minus is minus. Plus times plus is plus. So you need to know this. You can write this somewhere. It's going to be useful for you later on. So I have 5 here, which is 5. So plus times minus, minus, plus. So plus times minus is minus, so minus 3. So here, 5 minus 3, that is 2. Okay, so in this case now, the first rule says, whenever you have same bases and you are multiplying, you add the powers together. Now, I will quickly chip in something here for you to know. If I write something like 2 raised power 3, this simply means that base 2 power 3, this simply means this 2 is in, this 2 is or can be written in 3 places. You understand that? This 2 can be multiplied to itself 3 times. That is what it means. That means 2 times 2 times 2. That is what it means, which is 8. So if I have 5 raised power 3, it simply means 5 can multiply itself 3 times. So 5 times 5 times 5. This is 125. Okay? So if I have 2 raised power 6, it simply means this 2 will multiply itself 6 times. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That is 64. That is what it means. So in this case here, you can finish up this one to be equal to 9. Okay? Okay, so in this case here, you can finish this one up to be 256. Now, let's go to the second rule of indices. Now, let's take the second rule of indices. A raised power m divided by a raised power n. Now, you can see here that the difference between this rule and the first one is that this is division. The first rule was talking about multiplication, but here you have division. So the rule says that if you have same basis a and you are dividing, then you can subtract the power. So you write one of the base and you say m minus n. So if I have 2 raised power 5 2 raised power 5 divided by 2 raised power 3, you can see we have same base is 2, right? And we are dividing. So you write one of the base, because you are dividing, you subtract the powers. 5 minus 3. And this is 2 raised power 2. And 2 raised power 2 simply means 2 is multiplying itself 2 times. That is 2 times 2, which is 4. So if I have 5 raised power 3 divided by 5 raised power minus 2. Now, you have same bases, right? Base 5. And you are dividing. So you write one of the base. Because you are dividing, then you subtract the powers. So this is 3, okay? Division is minus, right? But here you have minus 2 already there, so minus 2 in bracket. So this is 5, okay? This is 3. Minus times minus. That is why I've written it here, so that you can always use that. Minus times minus is plus, so you have plus 2 here. So this is 5 raised power 5. And 5 raised power 5 simply means 5 will multiply itself 5 times, okay? And 5 raised power 5, that will be 3125. Pressing calculator, you will get 3125. This is the second rule of indices. Let's go to the next rule, which is the third rule of indices. Now, rule 3. A raised power m times b raised power m. Here, you can see here that the bases are different, but the powers are the same. So, if you are multiplying different bases with the same power, you will just multiply the base a times b, that is ab, and you maintain one of the power. So what I'm trying to say is that if you have 2 raised power 3 times 3 raised power 3. Here, you can see that the base here is 2 and the base here is 3. You are multiplying. But here you have same power, same power. So once you have same power and you're multiplying the bases, you can say 2 times 3, that is 6, and you maintain one of the power. So this is 6 raised power 3. That means 6 is multiplying itself 3 times. And if I press my calculator, saying 6 raised power 3 here, I'm going to have 216. Now, if I have same thing here, 5 raised power 2 times 2 raised power minus 2 raised power 2. In this case, you see the bases are different, but the powers are the same, and I am multiplying. So that is 5 times 2, that is 10, and I will maintain one of the power. And this one means that 10 is multiplying itself 2 times, which is 100. This is the third rule of indices. Let's go to the next rule now. Now, rule 4. A raised power m divided by b raised power m. You can see here the difference between rule 3 and rule 4 is that rule 4 is talking about division of different bases, same power, while rule 3 is talking about multiplication of different bases, same power. So here, if you have different bases, A and B, you are dividing, the powers are the same. Here you will just say A divided by B, and you maintain one of the power. So all I'm trying to say here is that if I have 15 raised power 3 divided by 5 raised power 3, you can see here that 15 and 5, which are the bases, are different numbers, but the powers are the same, and I am dividing. So here I will say 15 divided by 5, just the same way I have A divided by B, because they have same power. Then I will maintain one of the power, which is 3. So here 15 divided by 5, how many 5 can you get in 15? That is 3. So that is 3 raised power 3. Remember, 3 raised power 3 means 3 is multiplying itself 3 times. 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. Easy. Now, rule 5. A raised power 0 is equal to 1. This is the simplest rule of indices. Anything raised power 0 is 1. For an example, 1000 raised power 0 is going to be 1. A over B raised power 0 is going to be 1. You can see the power is 0, the power is 0. So anything raised power 0 is 1. If I raise myself, this is me here, and I raise myself, and I raise myself, that means Robin raised power 0, I'll be 1. If I have 5 people here, okay, I have 5 people here, 5 people here in bracket, and I put 0 on them, so these 5 people is raised power 0, so there will be 1. Easy. Anything raised power 0 is 1. Let's go to the next rule. Rule 6. A raised power minus m. Here you can see now that the power here is negative. Okay, what indices is saying that whenever you have your power to be negative, this minus here on the power side, minus means 1 over. That is the meaning of the minus on the power side. So that means this minus is representing 1 over. So what is left here? A raised power m. I will put that underneath 1 over. So if you have 2 raised power minus 3, what this means is that this minus on the power side means 1 over, and the minus is already 1 over. So what is left here? 2 raised power 3. I put 2 raised power 3 here. Then I can still say 1 over. 2 raised power 3 means 2 is multiplying itself 3 times. You already know that. So this is 1 over 8. Easy. Let's go to the next rule. Now, let's go to rule 7. A raised power m over n. You can see here, the power is a fractional power. Fraction simply means you have numerator and you have denominator. So whenever you have numerator and denominator as the power, that is the fractional power. So the laws of indices is telling you that the denominator, which is n here, becomes the root. That is root n. The base, which is a, goes inside the root, and the numerator becomes the power. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, if I have 4 raised power 1 over 2, you can see here, this is a fractional power. My 1 is my numerator, my 2 is my denominator. So the rule is telling you that the denominator, which is 2, becomes the root, square root. The base, which is 4, goes into the root. And the numerator, which is 1, becomes the power there. So this simply means square root of 4. Or what number I can multiply 2 times that will give me 4. That is what is the meaning of square root. So square root of 4 is 2. And 2 raised power 1. Meaning 2 multiply itself 1 time. So 2. Easy. Let's go to the next rule of indices. Now, rule 8. A raised power minus m over n. You can see here, this is the combination of 2 rules. The rule 7 that we just did now, and if negative part of the power. So in this case, all you want to do here is that you know already when you have a negative on the power side, it means 1 over, right? So what is left is a raised power m over n. Okay? Then you already know that according to our rule, there is a rule of indices where, which is rule 7, where your n, which is your denominator, becomes the root, your base goes inside, and your m is outside. So what I'm trying to say here, if you have 27, okay, minus 2 over 3. Okay, 27 is the same thing as a, 3 is the same thing as n, 2 is the same thing as m, and negative is the same thing as negative. So the first thing is you have to deal with is the negative on the power side, which means 1 over. So that is 27, 2 over 3. Okay, so 1 over. Now remember here that this is a fractional power here. Your denominator, which is 3, becomes the root. That is cube root, right? Then 27 go inside, right? Then your numerator is the power here, 2. So here I have 1 over. What cube root is telling you is that the same number you will multiply 3 times, that will give you 27. So the cube root of 27 is 3. Okay? Because if I do like this here, and I say 27, what can go in 27? 3. 3 here is 9. 3 here is 3. 3 here is 1. So 3 in 3 places gives us 27. So the cube root of 27 is 3. Then there's a power 2 here. Okay? So now, 1 over. This means 3 multiplying itself 2 times. 3 times 3. And this is 1 over 9. Easy. Let's go to the next rule. Now, let's take the last rule of indices, which is rule 9. This says a raised power 1 is a. What this rule is telling you is that anything raised power 1 is that thing. If I say b raised power 1 is b. If I say 2 raised power 1 is 2. So when I have 2 times another 2 here, what simply means that this 2 is telling you that is raised power 1, and this 2 also is telling you that is raised power 1. So in this case, you already know this. These are same bases and you are multiplying. So same bases you are multiplying, that is rule 1. You have the powers together. So this is 2 raised power 2. And 2 raised power 2 simply means 2 is multiplying itself 2 times, which is 4. So remember, anything raised power 1 is that thing. Okay? Now that you are able to see all the rules of indices, now we shall be going into how we can use the rules of indices to solve all our questions on indices. I will see you in the next video. Bye.